world's oldest restaurant, Casa Botín. Tucked away on a narrow, cobblestone street in the heart of Madrid, just a stone's throw from the iconic Plaza Mayor, stands a small, unassuming building. Its facade is simple, almost modest, with dark wooden beams framing a rustic storefront, but this unpretentious appearance belies a rich and illustrious history. For this is no ordinary restaurant, it is, by Guinness World Records, the oldest continuously operating restaurant in the world, Casa Botín. Founded in 1725, Casa Botín has been serving its legendary dishes to travelers, locals, and royalty alike for nearly 300 years. And in doing so, it has borne witness to the rise and fall of empires, revolutions, and cultural renaissances. Today, we embark on a journey through time, exploring the fascinating history of Casa Botín, the gastronomic traditions it has upheld, and the secrets behind its enduring legacy. To understand the significance of Casa Botín, one must first travel back to the early 18th century. In 1725, Spain was in the midst of the Bourbon era, with King Philip V on the throne. Madrid, the capital city, was rapidly transforming into a bustling center of trade, art, and culture. Amidst this energetic growth, a French cook named Jean Botín, along with his wife, opened a small inn in what was then known as Calle de los Cuchilleros. This street, lined with swordmakers and craftsmen, was a fitting location for the establishment, catering to merchants, travelers, and artisans passing through the city. The restaurant's original purpose was humble, to serve hearty meals to the working class and to offer lodging to those in need of a night's rest. Yet from the very beginning, the Botíns were bound by a curious law, one that would shape the very nature of their establishment. At the time, it was illegal to sell food in Spain unless it was prepared by the patrons themselves. As such, the Botíns would light their fire in the kitchen, allowing guests to bring in their own food to be cooked. This rule, however restrictive, would later give rise to one of the restaurant's most celebrated features, its oven. Over the centuries, this oven has become something of a legend. It's a brick wood-fired oven, unchanged since the day it was first lit in 1725. And to this day, it remains the heart and soul of Casa Botín. It is in this very oven that the restaurant's signature dish, cochinillo asado, a roasted suckling pig, has been prepared for centuries. The wood-fired oven imparts a unique flavor, producing a dish that is crispy on the outside, tender and succulent on the inside. It is a recipe passed down through generations, one that has captivated palates for nearly 300 years. Over time, Casa Botín grew from its humble beginnings, gradually becoming a favored haunt of Madrid's elite. It attracted a wide array of patrons, from renowned artists and writers to politicians and royalty. But perhaps none left as indelible a mark on the restaurant's history as a young, unknown artist named Francisco de Goya. According to local legend, Goya, who would later become one of Spain's most celebrated painters, once worked at Casa Botín as a dishwasher. In the mid-1700s, before he rose to prominence in the art world, Goya is said to have toiled in the restaurant's kitchen, washing dishes and observing the steady stream of Madrid's socialites and dignitaries who came to dine. And Goya was not the only artist drawn to the charms of Casa Botín. Centuries later, another great creative mind, American author Ernest Hemingway, became a frequent visitor. Hemingway's love for Spain is well documented, and his affinity for Casa Botín was no exception. In his novel The Sun Also Rises, he writes, "We lunched upstairs at Botín's. It is one of the best restaurants in the world. We had roast young suckling pig and drank Rio Giralta." Hemingway's description, while simple, captures the essence of what has made Casa Botín endure through the ages, the combination of impeccable food and an atmosphere steeped in history. For centuries, the restaurant has served as a meeting place for artists, writers, politicians, and travelers from all walks of life. Its walls, adorned with paintings and photographs, have borne witness to countless conversations, celebrations, and moments of quiet reflection. In the early 20th century, the restaurant passed into the hands of the Gonzalez family, who have continued to run Casa Botín with the same dedication and passion as its original founders. Under their stewardship, the restaurant has retained its traditional charm while also evolving to meet the tastes of modern diners. Today, Casa Botín is helmed by Antonio and Jose Gonzalez, the third generation of the family to manage the restaurant. For the Gonzalez family, preserving Casa Botín's legacy is a labor of love. They have maintained the restaurant's signature dishes, including the iconic cochinillo asado and cordero lechal, roast lamb, which are still prepared in the ancient wood-fired oven. But they have also carefully curated the restaurant's atmosphere, ensuring that it retains the warmth and authenticity that has drawn diners for centuries. The dining rooms are cozy and intimate, with low ceilings, wooden beams, and terracotta floors that transport guests to a bygone era. Despite its international acclaim, Casa Botín remains deeply rooted in its Spanish heritage. The menu is a celebration of traditional Castilian cuisine, featuring classic dishes such as sopa de rollo, garlic soup, jamón ibérico, Iberian ham, and tarta de Santiago, almond cake. These are the flavors that have sustained generations of Madrileños and visitors alike, and they continue to be prepared with the same care and craftsmanship that have defined Casa Botín since its inception. It is a remarkable feat for any restaurant to survive for nearly 300 years, let alone to thrive as Casa Botín has. Throughout its history, the restaurant has weathered wars, revolutions, and societal upheaval, yet it has remained a constant presence in the heart of Madrid. During the Spanish Civil War, the restaurant was forced to close its doors for a time, but its wood-fired oven never went cold. Legend has it that locals would sneak in to bake bread and feed the hungry, keeping the spirit of the restaurant alive even in the darkest of times. In the years since, Casa Botín has continued to evolve, embracing the future while honoring the past. Today, it is not just a restaurant, but a living monument to the history and culture of Madrid. Visitors from around the world come not only to taste the food, but to experience the magic of a place where time seems to stand still. As the sun sets over Madrid and the soft glow of the city streetlights begins to illuminate the narrow alleyways, Casa Botín comes to life. Inside, the clatter of dishes, the hum of conversation, and the crackling of the ancient wood-fired oven blend together to create a symphony of sights, sounds, and smells. In a world that is constantly changing, Casa Botín stands as a reminder of the things that endure. It is a place where history is not just remembered, but tasted, savored, and shared. And as long as its doors remain open, the legacy of Casa Botín will continue to grow, one meal at a time.